Legal Aid of South Florida. I work in the Economic Advocacy and Community Health Department. And if you're scratching your head right about now and saying, huh? Don't feel bad because that's how I was when I first started working here just over a year ago. Basically, that's just a fancy way of saying we do public benefits. And those benefits include food stamps, TANF, unemployment, Social Security, and we also help people with healthcare coverage. Today we're doing a presentation on Social Security, but before we get to that, we have a couple of disclaimers. This presentation is not intended to provide specific legal advice. The information is current as of today, June 11th, 2024. This PowerPoint may not be reproduced, distributed, copied, or cited in whole or in part without Coast to Coast Legal Aid of South Florida's written permission. For more information, please visit our website at www.coasttocoastlegalaid.org, or you can call us at 954-736-2400. Today, we're going to talk about applying for disability benefits. And before a person can apply for disability benefits or should apply for benefits, you must have a medical condition, mental or physical, or a combination that is expected to prevent you from working for at least 12 months. Social Security administers two types of disability programs. There's a Supplemental Security Income and the Social Security Disability Insurance. The Supplemental Security Income, or SSI as it's more commonly known, is a program that provides disability payments to low-income individuals. It's sometimes referred to as welfare. Eligibility for SSI is determined based on financial need and disability status. The requirements are, for an individual, they must have $2,000 or less in resources, and for a couple, they must have $3,000 or less in resources. Resources are anything you own that can be changed to cash. So examples would include cash, property, life insurance, or vehicles. And of course, anything else that you own that you could sell and get the cash value for it. You are allowed to own the home in which you live and one car. You, of course, have to have a disability that's expected to prevent you from working for 12 months, for at least 12 months. And children with disabilities can apply for SSI, but they too must meet the financial requirements. So basically, a couple with the required minimum resources who has a disabled child can apply for SSI. And SSA uses a process called DEMON to determine if a child financially qualifies. And just a quick example of that would be if you had, let's say, a family of three, mom, dad, and the disabled child. The couple, mom and dad, can have resources of up to $3,000. Anything over $3,000 is assigned to the child. And if that amount is $2,000 or less, then the child would financially qualify for SSI. So if the amount is over $2,000, then the child would not financially qualify. And the child is looked at as an individual in that case. SSDI, to apply for SSDI, you must meet the following criteria. You must have worked in jobs covered by Social Security. You must meet a minimum requirement of work credits. And what we mean by covered by Social Security is if you work at a job where they're making deductions from your check for Medicare, Social Security, taxes, that type of thing, that is a job which is covered by Social Security. And of course, you must have the required disability that prevents you from working for at least 12 months. Work defined. Yes, there is a definition for work under the Social Security rules. Now, according to Social Security rules, you must have a medical condition that prevents you from doing any job and earning SGA. SGA stands for Substantial Gainful Activity. Why? I do not know. It's confusing. It makes no sense to me, but that is what Social Security calls it, Substantial Gainful Activity. Basically, in English, it means that you must not be able to earn $1,550 or more. That's SGA. And this is the gross. So that's $1,550 before deductions, before any deductions are taken out of your check. So if you can earn $1,550 or more, then you do not qualify for disability under Social Security's rules. And that's basically it in a nutshell. And for people who are self-employed, it's not just the amount that you make, but the amount of hours that you work. So for someone who's self-employed, if you can earn $1,550 or more, you're not considered disabled. Or if you can work 80 hours or more per month, you're not considered disabled. So if you're working 85 hours, but you're only earning $1,000 a month under Social Security rules, you're not disabled. And that's for someone who is self-employed. Applying for benefits. If you have a medical condition that you believe will prevent you from working for at least 12 months, you can apply for disability benefits. Yes, I know I'm starting to sound like a broken record, but there you have it. That is the first requirement. It's not just that I'm sick and I can't work for the next few months, 4 or 5 months, your doctor's telling you it's going to be at least 3, 4, 5, 6 months before you can return to work. For Social Security, it has to be a minimum of 12 months. If you have the required medical condition and you apply, you should apply for both SSDI and SSI. And the reason we advise people to do that is twofold. Some people aren't sure if they have enough work credits. And typically, if you've worked steadily in the last 10 years, and in particular the last 5 years, usually you will have enough work credits. Of course, you can always contact Social Security to figure out if you have enough work credits to apply for SSDI. But sometimes people think they have enough work credits and then they apply. It takes forever. And then finally, a few months down the road, Social Security comes back and says, you don't qualify because you don't have enough work credits. Then you would have wasted all that time. And now you have to go back and apply for SSI. So we say apply for both. The other reason to apply for SSI is that SSDI has a 5-month waiting period, whereas SSI does not. And the waiting period, let's talk about that a little bit more. So this period ensures that only long-term disabilities are covered. After the 5 months, SSDI benefits will begin. Specifically, SSDI will begin paying you monthly benefits the 6th month after they find your disability began. So that's not necessarily the date that you apply. So let's look at it this way. You became sick in November of 2023. And at first, you're not sure what's happening. But by February of 2024, you have discussed it with your doctor, and he's telling you, I don't know how long this is going to continue. It may be indefinite. So you decide, okay, it looks like it's going to be a long-term thing. I'm going to go ahead and apply. So you apply for benefits in February. But in your application, you put that your disability began in November. So if SSA approves your application, they will have your onset date as November of 2023. However, they will not pay you for the first 5 months of your disability. So you won't get paid for November, December, January, February, or March, those 5 months. They won't start paying you until April of 2024. So for those 5 months, you would get no income, even though you were disabled, you did have a condition, because of the required 5-month waiting period. SSI, on the other hand, is a needs-based program for low-income individuals, and there is no waiting period. So if you applied for SSI and SSDI and you got approved for both, then even though SSDI won't pay you for November through March, you will get a check from SSI for those months. And then in April, your SSDI will start to pay. And depending on the amount that you get in SSI, you will continue depending on the amount that you get in SSDI, you will continue to get your SSI check. And that all depends on the amounts, because with SSI for 2024, the maximum you can get is $943. So if your SSDI check is under that amount, you will get the difference in SSI to bring it up to the $943. But if your SSDI is more than $943, then you won't get any more SSI payments. And here's an example. John applies for SSDI. 3 months later, he received a notice from SSA saying he did not qualify for SSDI because he did not have enough work credits. John will now have to apply for SSI and has wasted 3 months waiting for SSA's response to his first application. If he had applied for both programs, SSA would have determined that he did not qualify for SSDI, but they would have continued processing his SSI application. And considering that nowadays, the average person waits anywhere from 12 to 13 months, sometimes longer, for to get their application approved. Anything you can do to avoid wasting any additional time, you should do it. Because, with 3 months gone by, now John has to apply for SSI, and so he has to wait an additional 3 months added on top of the year or 13 months that it's taken Social Security to process claims. Another example, John applied for SSDI and SSI in February 2023. SSA approved both applications, finding that John's disability began on January 1, 2023. However, SSDI has a 5-month waiting period. John will not receive any SSDI benefits from January through May 2023. But since there's no waiting period for SSI, he will receive SSI benefits for those 5 months while waiting for his SSDI benefits to begin. Because SSI is a needs-based program, some claimants receiving SSDI may not financially qualify for SSI benefits. This means that you may receive SSI benefits during the 5-month waiting period, but once your SSDI kicks in, your SSI benefits will stop. And I think I'm making myself completely confused with all the SSIs, SSDIs, SSAs, and hopefully I have not done that for you. But basically, not everyone financially qualifies for SSI. I should also point out that if you apply for both SSI and SSDI, and you don't have enough work credits and you have too many resources, you may not qualify for either of the programs. So that is also something to take into consideration, because before SSA, Social Security, approves your SSI application, they will do a financial determination to determine if you financially qualify for the benefit. So you may have you may be disabled under Social Security's rules and still not qualify for SSI because you have too many resources. To recap, to apply for disability through Social Security, whether their SSI program or their SSDI program, you must have a medical condition expected to prevent you from working for at least 12 months. Work history paying into Social Security, to apply for SSD, you should apply for SSDI and SSI. So if you have a work history at a job where you've paid into Social Security, you should apply for both SSDI and SSI. If you have no work history or very little work history, or if you're a child, you should apply for SSI. To apply for benefits, you can go to your local SSA office, or you can call their toll-free number at 1-800-772-1213 and tell them you want to apply. Social Security can send you the documents. You can fill them out yourself and take them in. There are a lot of pages. Sometimes they can be complicated. I tell my clients one section at a time, one page at a time. If you look at it that way, it's really not that complicated because they're asking you information about yourself. You fill it out to the best of your ability, and when you're finished, you can take it into the office and tell them that I've done it, but I have questions about this section or that section, and they can help you complete it. You can also schedule an appointment with Social Security to go in or to have a phone appointment where they will complete the documents for you. If you fill out the documents yourself, you can take them to Social Security. You can file Social Security. You can even mail them to Social Security, but I would not suggest that because things get lost in the mail, and even if it reaches Social Security, they sometimes tend to lose things also. Just to bear in mind, it is currently taking Social Security between 12 and 16 months to process claims. So once you submit your application, it is, you just have to wait. You really should apply as soon as possible, expect to wait. And I suggest that you follow up on your application's progress. You can do that periodically by calling Social Security, by visiting your local office, or you can create a Social Security account online at www.ssa.gov/myaccount/. And that is the easiest way to keep track of the progress of your application. If you need any legal assistance, Coast to Coast Legal Aid of South Florida, we have 3 units. We have a family law and victims of crime unit, a senior elder law unit, and of course my unit, which is the mouthful, economic advocacy and community health, which, as I said, is the public benefits unit. And again, you can check us out at our website, coasttocoastlegalaid.org, or you can call us at 954-736-3400. Oh, I'm sorry, 2400. And this is the conclusion of our presentation for today. If you have questions, feel free to post them in the comments below, or if there's any particular topic you'd like us to cover in the future, you can also leave comments, and we will do our best to accommodate them. In the meantime, I wish everyone a good day. Take care. Bye-bye.